Hello everyone. In previous lecture, we talk about the metal ions in biological system, essential and trace elements. Now, the next point in this lesson is oxygen binding metallobiomolecules. In this heading, number one is hammerithin. It is a known heme oxygen binding iron protein employed in great variety of marine worms and phyla of marine invertebrates. Iron second binds oxygen reversibly and when oxidized to iron third shows no tendency to bind oxygen. Then number second is hemoglobin and myoglobin. Functions of oxygen transport and storage is provided by iron porphyrin complexes, hemoglobin and myoglobin. The iron in hemoglobin and myoglobin is in plus 2 oxidation stage. Oxygen molecule coordinate to F second from one end of heme and globin protects the Fe second to be oxidized to Fe third by creating a hydrophobic environment so that water molecule could not reach the side. And next one is hemocyanin. It possesses copper and bind one molecule of oxygen for every pair of copper first ions. When oxygen binds to hemocyanin, its color is blue, otherwise unbound hemocyanin is colorless. They are found only in molluscs and arthropods. Then the next part of this lesson is electron carriers. Now in this heading, number one is iron sulfur protein. Many known heme iron sulfur protein take part in electron transfer made up of peptide chain having cysteine moiety, where cysteine sulfur is bounded to iron or cluster of iron sulfur atoms. Fe in iron and sulfur cluster are also known as ferredoxin, and these are the electron acceptors in photosynthesis. Then the next is second one is blue copper protein. This is an electron carrier in photosynthesis and is primarily present in algae, green leaves and other plants. The different forms of blue copper protein are azurin, plastocyanin, stellocyanin and eumacyanin. And then the next one is cytochromes. These are heme proteins which behave as electron carrier and take part in photosynthesis. It contains a porphyrin ring chelated to iron atom. Cytochromes are found in all aerobic forms of life. The oxidation state of iron can be either second or third and occurs as redox intermediates in electron transfer reactions. They are present in chloroplast or photosynthesis and in mitochondria for reverse process of respiration. Now the next part is non-protein material transport. In skeleton, number first is calcium occurs in large amount than any other mineral elements. About 99% of the body calcium is in the skeleton, where it is present as deposits of calcium phosphate in a soft fibrous matrix. Second one is phosphorus. Phosphorus occurs in every cell of the body, but most of it is combined with calcium in bones and teeth. 10% is combination with protein, lipids, carbohydrates, and in blood and muscles. The great importance of the phosphate ester in energy transfer is also known. Then the next one is silicon. Silicon appears to be an integral component of acid mucopolysaccharides and have structural role in connective tissue, cartilage, skin and bond. Silicon is an essential element for growth and skeleton development. Now the next is sodium. Sodium is the major component of the cation and extracellular fluid which occurs as chloride and bicarbonate. It helps in regulating acid base equilibrium. It also helps in the maintenance of osmotic process of the body fluid. Then the next one is lithium metal ion. Lithium is in the form of lithium carbonate employed in the treatment of manic depressive illness. Lithium plus ion is present in intracellular and extracellular fluids. Then the next one is potassium. Potassium is present as cation in intracellular fluid as well as in extracellular fluids. It functions as sodium in extracellular fluid by influencing acid base equilibrium, osmotic pressure and water retention. It is necessary for metabolic functions including protein biosynthesis by ribosomes. Then the next one is zinc. Zinc ions are essential for normal growth, reproduction, and play a major role in tissue repair and wound healing. And the last one is manganese, essential for normal bone structure, reproduction, and the functioning of central nerve systems. Finally, we conclude that the life needs a continuous material exchange which principally include all chemical elements. The occurrence of these elements in organism depends on external and endogenous conditions. Elements can be bioavailable to variable extent but can also be enriched by organism employing energy utilizing processes involving a local local reduction of entropy.